So one of the hardest things about building good habits is knowing what the good habits are.
Right.
Also, one of the hardest things about getting rid of bad habits is being able to admit that they're bad habits. Right, so this connection guide that you're going to go through, the PDF that's provided with this session, is going to help you in that process. And I think it's helpful to think about habits categorically.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are our good habits and bad habits for each category
Such
of
as
our marriage, our communication? So let's talk through that a little bit, just me and you. We talked about it in the first video a little bit, but I don't know. Communication-wise, bad habits are we tend to interrupt each other. We tend
Never.
to... Perfect. Just perfect. We tend to not let the thought breathe or to have or to think before we speak. Sometimes we can give each other knee-jerk reactions. There it is again.
And sometimes we're listening just to respond instead of listening to
Yeah.
find agreement first
Yep.
on something that, okay, hey, I hear you. I agree with that. I think my question is around, da, 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 da. So
Okay, so that could be so those are bad habits. So a good habit to
that's
counter
a good
that.
habit.
I'm saying, well, we mentioned some. Yeah, that's a good habit. So yeah, just listening charitably, responding, and reiterating what you said. That's something we can do consciously. I
Yes.
think of Jim and Pam when they have
On
their
The
like
Office.
on the Office they have that issue, and they have their counselor says you have to acknowledge that you're trying. Like that kind of stuff. But the point is that you can be intentional and
yes.
thoughtful about those things. Okay, what's another area? I don't know. Our finances, of course. How do we, if we're living outside of our means,
Yeah.
what are the habits that create that? Maybe we're going out to eat 5 times a week. Or maybe, we're grabbing the impulse buys at the
Yeah.
grocery store. And we're not going with the list, but we're just going and, maybe we're going to the grocery store hungry. And that's a big problem.
Late night online shopping.
Yeah. You don't have any idea how many books show up at our house. I'm like, there's no humanly possible
I
way.
need wisdom. I need books.
Okay. So think through those types of things. Okay, what's another category of marriage? Priorities. Like maybe you have a bad habit of saying yes far too often. Or maybe you're saying yes to all the wrong things and you're saying no to all the right things. So maybe there's a way to flip that script a little
Right,
bit.
and understand what is right. What do we value as right and good right now for our
Yeah.
family? And that asks questions of, priorities, values, biblical authority on what is important.
Yeah. Around our intimate life. Okay, so maybe you are not having intimacy like you would like because you're building habits that don't allow it. So maybe you're watching TV too much, or maybe you are
Scrolling on
waiting,
your phone and not
yeah.
talking to each other.
And not fostering any intimacy. Or maybe you're waiting until 10:30 at night or 11 o'clock at night to put out the vibe, and you both are just too tired, so it ends up being this blow-up fight instead of the opposite, which would be intimacy. So the connection guide for this mini course is designed to help you identify those areas, and then what you're going to be assigned to do is just find one in each area, one small way that you can get rid of a bad habit and start a good one. And I'm confident that as you kind of slough off bad habits and pile up the good ones, you'll have a compounding effect. And I can't wait to see what your marriage might be like in a year if these habits do take root. So do that, go with confidence, and we'll see you later.